Apple's iPhone event just finished and they finally revealed their brand new iPhone 12 lineup. So in this video, I'm gonna go through all of the new features and benefits of the Pro models specifically compared to the previous iPhone 11 Pro models to help you decide if you should actually make the upgrade. First off, as you guys probably already know, the iPhone 12 Pro Max model isn't gonna be shipping until next month, while the regular 6.1-inch Pro model will start shipping next week. And what's interesting is that this year, the larger Max model is getting some exclusive features that you can't get on the regular model, and we'll get into those in just a minute. But first, let's go over all of the new features and specs of Apple's brand new iPhone 12 Pro. The biggest change is the new flat edge design with surgical grade stainless steel, which looks really nice and premium. And we also get a brand new color, Pacific Blue. The regular Pro model retains the 6.1-inch display, while the Pro Max goes up to 6.7 inches, and both of them got a bit more tall compared to the 11 Pro models, and they actually got quite a bit thinner, 7.4 millimeters compared to 8.1 on the iPhone 11 Pro models. The 12 Pro models are also just slightly heavier than the 11 Pros, 1 gram for the regular Pro model and 2 grams heavier for the Pro Max. And while the notch stayed the exact same size, it actually looks a bit smaller due to the display bezels becoming a bit thinner as well. As far as the display quality, it's basically staying exactly the same compared to the iPhone 11 Pro, so you get the same 1200 nits of peak brightness, around the same 458 to 460 pixels per inch, and everything else. The main difference is the new ceramic shield glass front, which Apple says is 4 times more resistant to drops than the iPhone 11 lineup. As far as water resistance, the iPhone 12 models now get IP68 rated at up to 6 meters for 30 minutes compared to 4 meters on the 11 Pro models. The iPhone 12 lineup, of course, gets the brand new A14 Bionic chip built on the all-new 5nm architecture with improvements in everything from the processor and the GPU to the neural engine and the machine learning accelerators. Of course, a huge feature is the new 5G modems, supporting both sub-6 and millimeter wave in cities that support it. So it enables features like 1080p FaceTime video calling over 5G instead of only on Wi-Fi like before. Apple also added the new Smart Data mode, which automatically switches to LTE to save battery life when you don't need 5G speeds. Now, the even bigger deal for me is that the regular LTE speed is now twice as fast, going from 1 gigabit per second to 2 gigabits per second, matching up to speeds on Samsung flagship phones. Just like last year, we get Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0, and the ultra-wide U1 chip, which the iPhone 11 already had. As far as the battery life, it should stay basically the same according to Apple's tech specs. Now, one of the coolest new features is the brand new MagSafe system. Basically, the wireless charging coil inside of every iPhone 12 has new magnets built into it, so you can connect any of Apple's new magnetic MagSafe accessories, like the new wallet, right onto the back of the iPhone itself, just using magnets. There's also the new cases, which have magnets built in, so it simply snaps on without holding onto the sides of the phone, making it easier to put on and take off. And you can place the magnetic wallet on top of the magnetic case as well, which is really cool. But the best part is the new MagSafe wireless charger, which is a very compact and slim charger that snaps onto the back of the phone and holds on magnetically. So you can still use your phone while it's wirelessly charging, and it charges at up to 15 watts compared to 7.5 watts for regular Qi chargers. They also showed off some new MagSafe chargers that are coming soon, like the MagSafe Duo, the car mount, and the multi-charger dock. Now, the biggest difference is in terms of the cameras, so let's get right into it. The ultra-wide lens is basically identical between the 12 Pro and the 11 Pro models, but the wide camera is getting huge upgrades, including a faster f1.6 aperture and a new 7-element lens, compared to f1.8 aperture with a 6-element lens on the 11 Pro model. And that's going to improve low light camera performance by up to 27%. Apple also mentioned that the optical image stabilization on the wide cameras is getting 5 times faster compared to the iPhone 11 lineup. Now, as far as the telephoto lens, it's basically the same on the regular iPhone 12 Pro model. You get 2x optical zoom and not 4x like a ton of channels misinterpreted in recent leaks. So it's a 4x optical range from the ultra-wide to the telephoto. And thanks to the new sensors and super fast A14 chip, we finally get night mode on all of the cameras, as well as smart HDR3 with scene detection and deep fusion on every camera, including the selfie as well. We also get a brand new image signal processor for improved noise reduction and better photos. Now here's where it gets very interesting. The iPhone 12 Pro Max actually gets some exclusive camera upgrades that the regular Pro doesn't get, so let's get right into those. The Pro Max gets a brand new wide camera sensor that is 47% larger, and the pixels within that sensor are now a larger 1.7 micrometers. This basically gives the Pro Max an even better 87% improved low light performance over the iPhone 11 Pro. And on top of that, the 12 Pro Max gets an exclusive sensor shift optical image stabilization feature, so you should get super smooth video and super sharp photos, and we'll be testing that out very soon, so click that subscribe button below so you don't miss out. On top of that, the 12 Pro Max gets a slightly longer 2.5 times optical zoom telephoto lens with up to 12x digital zoom, but the aperture does get a little bit slower to f2.2 to allow for the extra zoom. Both of the iPhone 12 Pro models come with the brand new LiDAR scanner, which projects lasers and then detects how long it takes to get back to the camera, and then that allows you to use it with augmented reality apps like getting a 3D map of your room, and it actually helps the cameras as well. For example, the LiDAR scanner will now be used to autofocus in the dark or for nighttime shots, speeding up the time it takes to take photos and improving autofocus performance in the dark by up to 6 times. Not only that, but it improves depth tracking for portrait mode photos, and it even finally enables portrait mode for nighttime photos, which the iPhone 11 Pro didn't have. Now moving on to video recording, everything basically stays the same except for 2 brand new formats. You can now record at the same 4K 60 frames per second as before, but you can now do it in Dolby Vision HDR, which is a first time for any camera ever, because it requires the device to grade the footage. And Apple's algorithms are doing it automatically in real time as you're recording. And then later this year, Apple is coming out with the new Apple Pro RAW feature, which will record in RAW footage format and automatically apply adjustments using machine learning. And you can even go into the Photos app and edit the raw footage, allowing for much more editing capabilities compared to regular footage. And as a little bonus, Apple added a night mode time-lapse feature, which can be cool for capturing stars with higher quality. Now finally getting into the prices, they're basically the same as before. $999 for the iPhone 12 Pro and $1,099 for the 12 Pro Max. But what's great this year is that they now come with double the storage, 128 gigs compared to 64 gigs that came with the iPhone 11 Pro models. The only downside is that you no longer get earpods or a charger in the box, so if you don't already have one, you're gonna have to order those separately. So now that I covered all of the new features, let me get into the ones that actually matter in terms of upgradability, because in my personal experience, the iPhone 11 Pro has been an excellent phone. If you love the flat edge design, then this is the best time to upgrade, because I'm willing to bet that Apple is sticking to this design for the next few years. So if you buy an iPhone 12, it's gonna look modern, for years to come. Of course, you've also got the new A14 Bionic chip, which improves performance and enables all of those cool new camera features. So if you want to see us test the real world performance and benchmarks, subscribe right now so you don't miss out. Now, while Apple hasn't revealed the exact amount of RAM, most leaks are pointing to the 12 Pro models getting 6 gigs compared to 4 gigs on the iPhone 11 Pro. So this could be a huge deal for using apps without them closing on you. Now, you might be saying, I don't need 5G. But keep in mind that the new modems actually also improve regular 4G speed as well, and it improves reliability compared to the iPhone 11 Pro, so that by itself is great. Now, if you're someone who's all about the cameras, and that's the biggest priority for you, then I would definitely upgrade because the 12 Pro comes with new camera sensors, which have faster readouts, allowing Apple to add those extra features like the 3rd generation of Smart HDR and everything else. And don't forget that the 12 Pro Max gets even more camera features on top of that, and we'll definitely be testing them. It just sucks that you have to wait another month before we can finally start ordering the Pro Max models. Now, one feature that was missing is 120Hz ProMotion technology, and that's definitely disappointing, especially if you really wanted that feature. And if you really do, then I'd suggest holding off because I'm fairly certain that we're gonna get it next year. But in general, the iPhone 11 Pro is already an excellent phone. And if you're happy with everything about it, and you feel that the performance, the cellular service, the battery life, the cameras, and everything else about the 11 Pro is already good enough for you, then don't upgrade unless you've got too much cash to care. But if you're really interested in faster LTE speeds, 5G, the new design, the new MagSafe feature, and camera performance improvements, then I definitely say that it's worth upgrading even from the 11 Pro, especially if your smartphone is a big priority in your life. But because we don't yet have the iPhone 12 Pro in our hands, we don't know how good it'll truly be. So if you want to see a full comparison between the 11 Pro and the 12 Pro, go ahead and tap the like button and click the circle above so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.